We're gonna finish this. We're gonna do this one.
We can start with the buffalo train.
Okay.
I probably won't do anymore. I already got a headache.
This fixes it, man. All right, you scoot over like 2 inches this way.
That's what she said.
Hey, be careful.
Are we live?
Yeah. Be careful on Facebook too.
Let's go, baby.
Gotta be careful with the "that's what she said" jokes on Facebook.
That's what.
Do you feel like you act different on Facebook versus YouTube versus Instagram?
I think I'm the same. I think if anybody's watching, I'm
TikTok.
always the same. I would have like 3 videos on TikTok. It's not even the book flipper. It's just my name there. I feel like I'm the same.
I feel like I'm different
If somebody's watching me, then I feel like it's the same.
I envision a different person on all of them.
Like regardless of where we're at.
Like Instagram, I don't give a fuck. But then like on Facebook, I'm like, damn, there's some old people in here. And then YouTube, I'm like, these people look up to me. It's like it's different for all of them. But,
Cheers.
Cheers,
guys, gals, everybody. We are coming to you live. I think we're live. Are we live?
We're live.
Live? Yeah, we're live. Live and in the flesh. We are in.
Where are we?
It's not one of the 13 colonies, and it's not one of the last states. It's somewhere in between. It's home of hot air balloons and deserts and hatch chilies. And there's some skiing. We're in New Mexico.
Yep.
Old Mexico's way cooler.
Middle of New Mexico.
We should be hanging out in New Mexico.
I don't know. They're both pretty cool. New Mexico's pretty cool. New Mexico's old.
I'll be in Old Mexico next week. If anybody needs a travel buddy,
where are you going?
Hit me up. Puerto Vallarta with Taylor. Yeah. So I'll be down there. And yeah, if you want to come hang out, we can turn the page in Mexico. That'd be fun.
You guys heard it here first. So if you guys don't know Caleb, you should. I'm sure Facebook, we got Junkman in the house, long time follower. Trying to talk a little bit quiet here because we're at somebody's house. Don't want to be too rude.
Facebook user is here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull that joke so many times.
If you guys are on Facebook right now, we're not gonna be able to see your name. So if you want us to shout you out, put your name on Facebook. But really the purpose of this live is Caleb's a mentor to me. He showed me the book game. He has taught me so much about books, and he's outside of books. He's doing a lot. Like this guy's a fucking monster when it comes to business. He's built successful software companies. He's actually flipping bourbon now. He's
just acquiring. It's illegal to flip.
Okay,
so
gotcha. He's not selling bourbon. Shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, it's just been. He's a great brain to pick. We both have sold over 7 figures on Amazon within a 12-month period. We both have. At some point in our careers, whatever you call this, careers, careers,
feels like a careers season.
During our
career
lifetimes.
Sounds way too long. Yeah, we're just gonna go with season, our book selling season.
So you want to come on YouTube?
Dad's awake. Everybody hide. Hey, we were here before 9. You can lock up after us. Turn the alarm system back on.
We locked the door.
We should drop a couple things. One, come hang out. Well, we don't really have time.
Yeah,
maybe tomorrow night.
If anybody's in New Mexico, hit us up.
Hit us up. We're gonna be wandering around tomorrow. Check out our Instagrams tomorrow morning, bright and early, like 6:30 a.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah,
8:30 Eastern. There's gonna be some cool stuff going down. If you're afraid of heights, do not tune in. That will not be fun.
I wish you translated that well into camera.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing Cyber Monday? There's still some deals floating out there. We'll plug some of our own, but drop in the comments. What are you buying? This is the time of year as entrepreneurs. One, I feel really fortunate to be on the other side of it. So on one hand, I'm looking at my email and trying to find things to buy because it's near the end of the year. At this point, I'm going to owe some taxes. And so if I could find legitimate business reasons to spend money on, then like I might want a treadmill. Shout out to Lorenzo. That's something he really likes.
Yeah.
If you want to upgrade your chair, if you want to buy more inventory, if you again, legitimate business things, if you want to buy conference tickets or go travel or do something that's business related by the end of the year, now's a great time to do it. The reason being, let's say, depending on what tax bracket you're in, let's say the 25% tax bracket, you're also going to have state taxes unless you're lucky enough to live in Florida like this guy. You're going to have state tax on top of that. So typically you're going to be somewhere between 25 and 40% tax rate all in. Let's just call it 30% for ease of math. If you have, let's say you want to buy a new MacBook and it's $2,000 and you go, man, that's expensive. Let's say you had a great year. That $2,000 that you're going to spend on the MacBook is expensive. But if you were to spend that money in January, you get that deduction the next year. It's going to take you 12 months to actually save the money. If you buy December 30 or December 31, then you get to take that deduction when the taxes come due March 15, April 15, depending on when you file. So if you're in the 30% bracket, all in with state and federal, then it's going to be essentially like getting that for 30% off. So it's still going to cost you $2,000 out of pocket, but you're going to save $600 when it comes to paying your taxes, which that's a nice little bonus. So it's a little bit different when you're on the entrepreneur side. We're doing a special, and you were going to do some free shipping. I think you said no.
Yeah.
Did you do any specials?
I did not. I just pitched your tracking spreadsheet.
Well, thank you. Dinner was on all y'all that purchased through his link. So you want to post your link or say how to find it? I don't want to jump on your.
So, I mean, yeah, that's a tax write-off too. We can talk a little bit about that. But yeah, for Cyber Monday, what I did was I promoted something I believe in, which is his tracking spreadsheet. Helps you determine your exact profitability in your business. It's what we use at restrictedinventory.com to calculate all the profit payouts. You guys have probably seen me pitching it all day on Facebook and Instagram. So this is the last chance to get it. You guys do want to get the tracking spreadsheet. He created this. His brother actually created it. Smart as fuck. And
I did like 75%.
Okay, he did a little bit.
And then it wasn't foolproof. And I asked my brother to make it foolproof and do some good stuff.
Basically what it does is, like, if you're an Amazon seller and you're doing retail arbitrage or books and you don't know your exact profit, what it allows you to do is determine your exact profitability. As long as you know your buy cost for the items, you download 2 reports, 1 report from Amazon, and then another report
from your listing
inventory lab, Acceleralist.
Scan
really, there's
all of them.
I can show you guys, if you guys don't have listing software, I can show you how to basically manufacture that data. If you reach out to me, I'll show you. But basically, it allows you to see, like, what sources did you buy your inventory from, how much profit you're actually making. So maybe you're retail arbitraging at Walmart, Target, maybe you're book selling, maybe you're selling from multiple sources. Helps you really determine where the most profit's coming from. Because any business, there's generally about 20% of your efforts that produce 80% of the result. So you want to make sure that you're focusing your energy on that 20% that's making you the most money. So if you guys don't know that, if you don't know the answer to that, you should probably know your numbers better. And this tracking spreadsheet, which we'll link somewhere below above this video, I'll make sure to link it afterwards. Go on Instagram and look at my Instagram story. I do have the link there. And on Facebook, it is in the Facebook group somewhere. If you're on my email list, you should have gotten an email as well. And it's half off today. Not half off.
It's more than half off.
$100 off today.
Yeah, you can save a crisp Benjamin is what we were saying. So you save $100. Normally it's $170. It's a one-time fee. It's only $70. That's
you got to use the code Cyber 2021.
Yep. So find his link. If you don't want to find his link, you're too lazy. This does show. This does die tonight. So you can do it. I'll take care of Avery. I'll buy him dinner or something tomorrow. You can go to TheBookFlipper.com/track if you're too lazy to go find him on Instagram or YouTube. Yeah, TheBookFlipper.com/track. If you don't want to use his, if you just want to support,
if you want to bypass me, whatever, go through that.
You'll pay the same price. Coupon code is Cyber, CYBER 2021. Exactly what Avery said. I use it to figure out which sources are good, bad, ugly, etc., and then try and be smarter. I also run a pretty big consignment business, not as big as the restricted inventory business that Mr. Romer runs, but I do a lot of my business with libraries, thrift stores, individuals, and so they send in books, and I typically split profits 50-50. This tracks everything. It tracks the removals, it tracks inbound shipping, it tracks the returns, tracks the sales. I can, everything is tracked to the source. So every month I just click a button, generates a report, and then I can write a check to people.
Yeah, it's super, super cool. It helps you know every single dollar, every single transaction that occurred on your account, including disposals and removals.
Yes. Once it goes into the Amazon ecosystem, it's covered.
It helps you track it, and really the sales data has all that information, so you guys can go to your transaction sales data. But the cool thing about the tracking spreadsheet is it tells you on a per SKU basis. So it actually takes like the disposals, removals, everything on a per SKU basis, and it says, the source, whatever you got it from, Walmart, Goodwill, other people. It tells you exactly how much profit they made, which is super important, to know how much profit are you truly making from one source. Because if you don't know that, if you don't know your biggest source of profit, then you don't know how to scale your business. You're just shooting darts in the dark, and you don't know how to scale. So it's super, super important. Like even me, I look at my restricted inventory. I'm like, what customers am I serving? Who's bringing me the most profit? And I can look at the spreadsheet and it shows me all these names of people who are sitting 5 figures plus. And I'm like, I should probably cater towards those people. And without the tracking spreadsheet, I wouldn't know that. So,
all right, enough talk about spreadsheets. First off, we're making some money. We got 2 super stickers already. Ellis Entertainment, $2 and $3. So we're now $5 richer.
Boom. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, Ellis Entertainment.
Secondly, someone asked about tutorial videos for the tracking spreadsheet, and I promise we're going to be done with the tracking spreadsheet now. So thebookflipper.com/videos will walk you through all those. A couple side notes. Avery and I went out and talked business and trying to figure out how to, rope in restricted inventory to some of our tools and just make it easier for people that are gated, which is a lot of you. And so we had a good dinner tonight. I posted a nice photo on Instagram, said this is my lovely dinner date for the evening. And I got a lot of interesting comments, including people saying his hair is really good. So please comment 1 if you think Avery's hair is better than mine. Please comment 2 if you think my hair is better than Avery's.
Oh, it's obvious.
Comment 3 if you think we should just talk about books and not about look. So 1, 2, or 3.
That goes for IG. We see you on IG.
We do.
Facebook.
Got you on the IG.
Instagram and house. Somebody's laughing.
Running from genetics.
Diane. Is it Diane or Diana?
Yeah, it's Diane.
Diane.
Yeah. Mashburn.
See.
One.
We got the high elevation.
We got 3. Someone says, please stop talking.
Oh, we got 1s coming in the house.
All right, a lot of 1s. Anybody? Any 2s? No 2s? We got a lot of 3s. Saying get out of here.
Hey, we got some 1s flowing in here, though. I appreciate you guys.
Let's get Cody's just laughing. All right. Well, we'll chat a few things. First of all, we've done a number of these things, so we'll give a little recap on today. However, we've done a number of lives. We've done a live together in California, Vegas,
Philly,
Colorado,
Miami,
Florida for sure. This is now New Mexico.
Did we do? I don't know if we did one in Florida.
Ever?
Probably Instagram. Definitely
we did one at Steve's house, I think. Maybe not.
Yeah, that was you and Steve. I never.
We did one in Tennessee on the front porch there.
Yes. Yeah. Middle of fucking nowhere.
So we've probably come to you live from like 7 states, maybe more. And we did Mexico. So 2 countries, 7 states.
Yeah, we did Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto. Okay, your accent's awful. If you guys want us to come to your state,
who says it better?
What's our price?
Puerto Vallarta or
Puerto Vallarta? Where
he's Mexican now.
I'm not Mexican. What would our price be? If someone wants to fly both of us out and spend a day and a half, one evening,
what's your time worth
1
per
night?
Hours question.
Well, no, like what's the package deal?
Yeah.
We should do like our special Cyber Monday right now. Guys, we should do an auction. What do we start the bidding at? You got to cover our flights, cover our lodging. We're not high maintenance. Like a Holiday Inn Express is great.
So if that's added on top,
all that's included. Our food's included. We're going to spend a day and a half, whatever you want us to, business-wise. I'm not going to get weird with this. How much would you need to make to go spend?
If I make $1,000, I'm happy.
I thought you were $1,000 an hour.
I am, but to spend time with you and one of these people,
if we charge content out of it,
we charge $2K.
So we want $2K, $1K,
split, and then expenses on top of that. So like flight and everything.
You cover our expenses. All right. If anybody wants to, the first person that jumps on this, we will do this. Okay. So this offer is good for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And we'll just see where we end up.
Yeah. Comment below. You can email me. You guys.
So let your friends know. $2,000 plus you got to pay flights. We don't need to fly first class. We don't need private. We just need flights. And yeah, $1,000 a piece. We'll fly out in the morning, hang out with you all afternoon. You got to book our lodging. You got to pay for all of our food. Avery's got a raging alcoholism problem, so you got to pay for all his bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, next day we'll fly out afternoon sometime. Okay, that's the deal. Let us know. First one to jump on it.
Boom, DM me.
Comment here. LOL. Come on, Ellis, you're just paying us $5 in super stickers, and you don't think our time's worth $1,000 an hour?
Maybe she's like laughing, like, why is it so cheap?
8 locations, 9 pieces of furniture total. Not quite tracking that one. I remember some beer session lives. Yeah, we've done a few of those.
He's saying we switch pieces of furniture.
Who is Junkman?
He's on
I'm all sorry, of the videos.
I always forget your actual Facebook name. I can't put a YouTube name to a Facebook name, but he's been loyal for years.
Junkman, what's your first name?
You would definitely
have we met in real life?
You would definitely recognize.
I know you comment all the time, so I'm sorry that we're not remembering. It'll take a little bit because
you would definitely recognize his name.
This is
once he comments it.
All right. So secondly,
somebody says check out the speaking power. Boom.
Boom, baby. We got these bracelets on. Oh, you take yours off already?
Yeah, I took mine off.
All right. So we went to this place. These just stay on forever. It's called Meow Wolf. Anybody heard of it? They're in Denver. There's one here in Santa Fe. We drove up the road. I think there's probably 4 or 5. Junkman saying loyalty. Did he give us a name yet?
Yeah, he did.
Come on, Junkman. What's your first name?
Oh no, he didn't. He says loyals. He's about to comment.
He will. We'll get it. So Meow Wolf is essentially an escape game meets art house. It was 22,000 square feet. It's an old bowling alley.
You want to sleep? Okay.
That they, our house mom is heading out of the room here. So they took a bowling alley and turned it into this. How would you describe it?
Well, like what I was saying earlier, I feel like it's a combination between a haunted house and what else did I say? A haunted house and
name it? Nope.
A haunted house. It's like a haunted house, but it like the theme in terms of like you walk through like trails and shit, like not trails, but like hallways, and then it's like
there's a story behind
it's like an escape game, with a haunted house and then like an art museum, like combined.
So you go in, it's kind of set up, and they tell you like you can just go in and wander through it. You're just paying $25 to hang out.
Yeah.
So you basically go in the house. It looks like a house, except you open the fridge and it's like a portal that you get to walk through into another room, which feeds into like 8 other rooms. You can like crawl in the the clothes dryer, and there's
you can
like
crawl in the refrigerator. Like the refrigerator door opens up and it's like a hallway. You can go in there.
So it's really unique. Everything you're supposed to like play around with the props and everything, and there's rooms that are like out of this world. There's stuff that just feels like you're tripping. It's unbelievable. So there was a bit of a story and some clues. We probably only were there for 2 hours. I don't think we really got far down the path. We found some codes, opened some safes. I feel like I've kind of gone back and spent another day or two. So if you ever get a chance, Meow, like a cat, Wolf, like a dog, Meow Cat, is Meow Wolf. Can't even talk straight. Is worth checking out. So if you're ever in the area that you can do that, highly recommend it.
Hey, we got Amazon Lit. We got Taylor Jones in the house. We got who else we got in here?
Amazon Lit's in the house.
Yeah, we got people rolling up.
That place is wild. It is wild. What's up, Amazon Lit? It's been a little bit. It's been a hot second. I'm sure you're loving life right now at Q4.
I always assume Amazon Lit's Eric. I never assume it's Sebastian.
I just call him Amazon Lit. AL for short. It's like Accelerlist, but AL. All right. So what are we talking about tonight? It's late. What is it?
There's a lot of
questions. 11:30 East Coast.
People are asking about MF orders a lot, so we should probably address that.
Let's talk MF.
So how do you pay for shipping for MF, and do you offer free shipping for MF orders?
Okay, a couple things. So I'll just share my experience. And again, I'm a bookseller, so I know a lot of you like Amazon Lit. If you have questions there, we should just bring him into the chat because he will just make us look stupid. I just from books, I never did merchant fulfilled up until about a year ago when they blocked FBA for a bit. So,
he says put me in chat. Let me see if he.
Let's do it.
He might be trying to come in.
We'll put you in, Coach.
Did you request?
Request if you can. I like charging like $3.99, $4.49 for shipping. The reason being is if you do free ship and somebody returns it, they expect to get the full money back. So if you sell a book for $8 landed, which is typically $4 plus $4 shipping, and they return it, they want to get the full $8 back rather than a little bit back.
Boom.
Hey,
we got Amazon Lit in the house. YouTube. What's up, brother? YouTube is not going to be able to see you, but we'll turn you up as loud as we can.
We may repeat the question. So yeah, we got some merchant fulfilled questions. But first of all, how the heck are you?
I'm well. You know me. I'm at the office just grinding.
Attaboy. Now, are you still sending stuff in at this point, or is your work done and you're just letting whatever happens happen?
No, we're sending hella stuff in right now.
Attaboy. Let's get a quick little nickel tour here.
Yeah, we're sending in as much inventory as possible because what's great right now is obviously Q4 products, but what a lot of people fail to realize is that people still buy all those other products. People are still buying used books. People are still buying deodorant, shampoos. So you want to just keep pumping out inventory, you know?
Yep.
What's up with you guys? Where are you? Are you in Romer's hood or are you in your hood?
We decided to meet in the middle. We went to New Mexico. And then I realized we pulled up a map and realized it's actually not in the middle, but here we are.
Yeah. So we're out here for business.
Actually, our very first Turn the Page conference we did was in Los Angeles. We met a really smart couple that one's a PhD. The other one should have a PhD. He's pretty smart as well. And they invited us to come visit. So here we are.
Yeah, and I've interviewed her a few times on my channel. She's being a mom tonight, but she's a girl that did online arbitrage for a while. She did like 500. She did close to $500,000 in 1 year just flipping textbooks as a graduate student. So she's
like
hustler.
a side hustle.
Yeah, yeah. So she was able to pay for the semesters that way. So she's a hustler.
I love it, man. I love it. You know what amazes me the most? Like here, just sitting with you two guys, right? We're literally three people from three completely different parts of the country.
Yep.
Right? And we've all leveraged Amazon to absolutely change our lives. Whether it's selling on Amazon or like the two of you building softwares to help other sellers sell on Amazon. Like there's just so much opportunity there. And I think
crazy.
A lot of people sleep on that.
It's ridiculous. Like if you think about the arbitrage opportunity of just going into like thrift stores, not thrift stores, but like Walmarts and just any type of retail arbitrage or even online arbitrage is fucking insane.
Well,
like if you really think about it, like you build a software flipping shit from eBay to Amazon, right?
Yep.
And if you like only had that, like, and you only focus on that, you could probably pump out like a lot of money from that. If you truly only focus,
you can
on
hone in on any one thing. I'm actually here. I'm kind of getting into the bourbon game, and
he's flipping bourbon.
well, you're not supposed to really flip it.
He bought it one for 500 yesterday. He's gonna flip it for $1,000 when he gets back. Like this dude's hustling.
Like
the bourbon flip, man. You got to change your name to the bourbon flipper.
I thought about it. I might just do that for April Fools and see if people like think I'm being for real.
Yeah.
But it all it takes is networking. Like business, I think comes down to two things, and we talked about this in Florida a bit. It's what problems are you solving, and like who are you connecting, like people wise. It literally is your network, your connections, and then you have to solve a problem somewhere. Otherwise, no one's gonna give you money.
Right.
And like we're very, very fortunate. E-commerce doubled last year. I don't know what it's going to do this year in terms of, I haven't seen any of the numbers come out yet, but I have to imagine it's crazy amounts increased still. And it's still pretty early. I know it's getting harder. Like books is a difficult game at sometimes. His battery's getting low.
Appreciate that.
There we go. But we're in a pretty good age to be selling, and like it's, again, we can just push a button and stuff shows up at our front door, and there's people on the other side of that, which in this case is us and people that follow us. And cheers to that.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. I think the opportunity is slept on because a lot of people think it's too saturated. But honestly, I think its level of saturation will be reached for nearly a decade. There's more consumers on these marketplaces, so as the consumer count grows, the opportunity grows, and people like us, we can't even keep up with it.
No.
There's still opportunity out there that we're missing out on.
And e-commerce is still like right at 20% or less in terms of the overall like commerce, in terms of overall retail.
Yeah.
So we're still pretty early. Hey, where are you? Are you traveling anymore before the end of the year? Are you speaking anywhere?
Yeah, I'll be in Orlando. So I joined this mastermind like maybe 3 months ago. Like you were just talking, right? Surrounding yourself with successful people. I met this guy, and I'm speaking at his event in Orlando on the 17th and the 18th. That's going to be my last trip for the year.
Awesome.
Well, and then we'll be in Vegas for ASD, which hopefully we'll see the two of you out there at the end of February.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I need to go to one of those.
ASD again. I probably won't, just because I didn't get into it the first time. But we are doing Miami 2022. That's gonna happen, nice. And we want you to speak.
You got a date for that yet?
You said what?
You got a date for that yet?
We're thinking April, and we're gonna probably start promoting it pretty soon. I know you're probably doing a lot of events next year, but we'd like to get you on board if you're down to speak at that. And then we might do like a private mastermind after the main event. So we're actually going to try to get the main event like 200 plus people this year, and then have the after party like 50 to like even like 30 people. And get like Scott Needham. Watch me. Amazon's down to talk. Caleb will be there again probably.
I'm only coming if I get a ride in the slingshot this time though.
Well, listen, fellas. You know me. If my schedule's available, I'll be there.
Perfect.
Yeah, you know me.
Cool.
You know me.
Well, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah, fellas. Have a nice night. Appreciate you. Enjoy your bourbon.
Fuck yeah. Thanks for coming on, man. I'll see you.
I'll check down the flip side.
Peace out, Eric.
All right. So for those of you on YouTube that didn't see that was Eric. He's one half of Amazon Lit, Amazon_Lit on Instagram. They are doing 2 million a month right now.
They got up to 4 million. They did a 4 million month right after COVID hit, and then I think they've maintained that. I think they've had a couple 4 million months since.
So they are
between 2 and 4 million.
They're one of the top sellers on Amazon, needless to say. They're doing pretty much all wholesale. So they're going in and they're finding a product that sells really well, getting really, deals with the distributors. They're becoming the distributor, and they've got a course. They share their content. You can check them out, Amazon_lit on Instagram. They're the real deal.
Yeah, they are.
They're like super into personal development as well. Eric and Sebastian are the two guys, and they were just really fun to be around in Miami and just picking their brains. They're crushing it, and they're still, they're trying to network and grow and still continue to keep crushing it.
I think Junkman might have dropped his name at some point. Let's see.
He probably did. He just said Loyals. That's
it.
He
didn't.
Junkman, we're gonna figure out who he is.
He dropped a long ass comment though.
All right.
He said always Stark
accoutrements.
one couch in $1 million condo. One bed. Yeah, it's true.
Hey, all you need is books. You
That
can
is
build
very
furniture out of books.
What platform do you publish your books on? We don't publish books. We just resell books.
We just flip them. Sorry.
So we find books that have existing sales history. We buy them for $1.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not necessarily all that smart. We literally just find something that has demands. You find it in a store and you put it online. And so someone that wants to find that niche book, they can't walk into a Goodwill and find it.
Oh, this is a good question for you.
So instead of wasting their time, they're going to go in and
I don't think I've ever asked you this. Who's your inspiration? Who gets you fired up?
For just in general?
Period. He's saying like Zig Ziglar. So I guess he's mentioned the sales guy.
Ramsey, Bearded Picker. Those are very
I feel
different
like it'd be
people.
very strange to say Dave Ramsey's my inspiration. Like,
No,
I feel like that'd
but
just
like
a weird thing.
I think personal finance is really important. I think if you can spend this
But
much,
like your inspiration. Like I feel like Dave Ramsey's. If you say Dave Ramsey's your inspiration, I don't know. I feel like you should shoot higher. Like
what am I
Kobe,
after?
like Michael Jordan, or like Jeff Bezos, or even Mark Zuckerberg. Like somebody. No, Mark Zuckerberg is nobody's inspiration except for mine.
So
because I kind of look.
I am just drawn to people that are excellent in their field, whatever that may be. They don't have to be successful in terms of what the world defines as success, but people that pursue excellence and just go all out.
But do you have like one person like you just like you're like damn like
I'd want to have dinner with them or
no like when you hear like motivational music, you're like fuck, like I gotta grind like Jeff Bezos, or like do you ever think of like Bill Gates or Elon Musk? Like do you ever like have somebody that you're just like fuck, I gotta be like them? Or I gotta have a hustle like them at least, maybe not like be like them. Is there anybody out there like that inspires you like that?
There is, and I don't know that. Again, we're seeing like the shallow elements of somebody on social media or what their podcast is. I'll just throw out a couple guys like Tim Ferriss for sure. Ramit Sethi, although I don't know that much about him, but he's got great stuff on personal finance, which if you can't manage your finances, you're really never going to be successful in business.
That's why you get the tracking spreadsheet.
So we weren't talking spreadsheets anymore. So Tim Ferriss, Ramit Sethi. I'm really digging Scott Galloway right now, Prof G. He's got a podcast. He just understands economics. So probably those three are up there in terms of that. Gary Keller, phenomenal. He wrote The One Thing. He did it. Like great. Read The One Thing, 100%. It'll change the way you just do life. Yeah. But he did a podcast with Tim Ferriss, and it was just an unbelievable look at The One Thing. And The One Thing is what is the one thing you can do today? Basically the most leveraged thing you can do, so that if you did it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary.
Yep.
And so he applies that to family life. He applies it to home. He applies it to work, of course. And that'll change the way you look at things. So that's those are probably a couple guys that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think inspiration is the right term.
You got me thinking of Gary Keller now. Like that idea of focusing on the one thing that has more impact than anything. Like he literally broke this down to like, what can I do to make my family feel more loved? And I think what it was, like when it came to his dog, he used his dog as an example. He's like, I just got to go in and like be silly with my dog, rub my dog. And like, it seems like so like not mundane, but just like so like arbitrary, But like that was like the thing that like he knew would make him connect more with his dog and then his family, because his family's probably around too. And to see him interacting with the dog, he's like, that's the one thing I need to do is just be silly with my dog. And that's going to make my life with my family better.
It unlocks all of that, but also the emphasis is on he's taking action. So when he comes home from work, he says, what's the one thing I can do so that my family life is better? He finds his wife and kisses her, that kind of thing. It's not rocket science, but what the perspective is essentially just go take action. Mm-hmm. So I love that mentality. I think really good entrepreneurs, people that I'm drawn to, not even ones that are just excellent at what they do, but you have to take action. So many people, myself included, we get stuck trying to be perfect or trying to figure it all out before you take action.
Yeah.
And I think having a bias toward action, you can you can migrate, pivot, whatever.
Perfection is the lowest standard you can set for yourself. Because when people set the standard of perfection, they don't take action.
Latin pickers.
And that's a fucking low standard right there. What's up, Latin pickers?
Latin pickers in the house.
We do have a good question from TJ. TJ is one of my students, TJ and Lisa. They've done over 5 figures in sales each month. They joined my course like a year ago. Not plugging my course here. A lot of people have learned from my free content, but I am inspired by these two because they just decided to take action and fucking do it. And they've seen success. So their question is about something about FBM.
When is the Q going to show FBA and FBM profit on the same screen? It's coming. I don't have a timeline, but I've got a demo on my phone. I can show you.
IQ does that, right?
If you're doing bulk books, we do have a product, and we can't really get into it here. It's top secret. Not really, but it kind of is. If you are doing bulk books, reach out. support@palatiq.com. I have Scout IQ. I don't think I'm wearing my Scout IQ. Avery is. I got my Denver Nuggets gear, but Avery's got the Scout IQ.
He paid me $100 today to wear this. I'm like, dude,
$1.
Dude, I'll do it for $100.
$1. $1 a day. So if you are doing bulk, and by bulk, even if you're doing 2 to 3 pallets a week, reach out. support@palatiq.com. Request a demo. Tell them Caleb sent you. There's another good question.
We got 40 people in the house.
Sweet. You're gonna run out of battery in your phone.
Yeah, it's gonna
be your dad here. So
guys, Instagram, we might lose you soon.
Can you plug in?
That's how you do
plug
it.
into the computer.
You could, but it's hard to balance it. We'll just let it die.
That's fine. All right. When that dies,
IG,
come follow us. Do we have an OnlyFans yet?
Not yet. It's
okay,
coming
we
soon.
should probably do that. OnlyFans / TheBookFlipper.
Somebody's gonna take that.
It's not what you think.
And now you have to buy it.
John has a good question. Do books on Amazon actually sell for $400 or $700? There's books there that are listed for that. Well, in general, the more listings, the more accurate the listing is. What I mean by that is if there's just one offer, they can set the market price. They can say it's $1,000, and you have the choice to either buy it or don't buy it. So the more offers, if there's 10 offers and it's still $1,000, then it's probably the margin of safety, which is actually worth $1,000. In general, most books are not going to be selling for that. So how do you know? Pay for Keepa. Or on Scout IQ, there's a little chart icon. Just tap that. It's included with your subscription. It's like Keepa. It's our own data. You don't have to pay for it. You can actually see what the book sold for. So I've got plenty of videos. I'm sure Avery's got a couple as well. Look up how to interpret Keepa for booksellers, or look at the BookFlipper on YouTube. Just say the BookFlipper plus sales history or sales rank or understanding Keepa. There's tons of videos out there. We'll walk you through how to read the charts. Historically, that book's probably selling for $10 to $50, maybe $100. What happened is the cheapest offer is sold out, and all of a sudden there's only 2 people on the listing. One is Goodwill Books. Sorry to throw them under the bus, but they don't price all that well all the time. And the other is, some, drop shipper that doesn't even own the inventory. So someone listed at $400, the drop shipper prices it at $800 because they're going to try and profit off the difference if someone buys their copy. And that's the game. So it probably won't sell for $400 unless Keepa shows that it is selling for that. Again, how do you know if it's actually selling for that? Check out some of our videos that we put together. Diane's texting me.
We got to show IG some love. IG's coming in hot. We got 25 people in the house on IG. Instagram, we love you. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And we're going to answer a few questions from Instagram. And I see you, Junkman, on YouTube. And I believe you're on Facebook too, Junkman. He's asking about homeschool. He thinks homeschool is the future. If I can ever plug this in.
Keep growing, that's for sure.
I do think homeschool is going to be growing. And I think he's like mentioning that. Wow. Oh, it's upside down. That's why. This is what happens when he gives me too much bourbon. I can't even figure out how to charge this thing. 1 second, guys. Boom. We're back in business. All right. Now, IG, we can answer some of your questions.
Okay.
They were having a question about, somebody was asking, let me give a credit to where credit's due. Misty M1 says, are you transitioning out of books into other products like wholesale, online arbitrage?
Also, I love how the world is now handles. And I did this to myself. My name's Caleb, but we go by the BookFlipper. This is Avery. He goes by Romer the Romer. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. So
are we transitioning?
Are you transitioning?
No. But again, I'm on both sides.
He's transitioning to bourbon.
So I don't want my money in the stock market or in cash. with inflation and everything else. We're not going to get to investing, although we can ask questions, we'll answer them. I'm going to stick with books. Every year, if I want it to, it grows. So that's something I can keep focusing on. I don't know which camera to look at. So I'm going to stick with books because there's still an upside there. I'm also on the sell side in terms of software. So it's not just books. As long as people are selling books, whether it's me selling books or me helping people sell books, then I'm going to do that.
I like the way you described it one time, and this is genius.
Both sides of the coin?
All sides of the market. You said there's multiple corners to the market. So you said if the book market ever gets really bad, meaning people aren't buying books, Caleb's safe because he's selling shovels. Okay, so during a gold rush,
yeah, I'm looking for gold.
They said the people that got rich during the gold rush were the people selling the shovels. So Caleb is selling shovels, so am I, in different ways. And so he's helping people get better at selling books. But also, like, if the book market competition goes down, then that means his book business goes up, right? That's actually what's happening right now. The restock limits are screwing a lot of people over, and we think that the book selling market should go up, like the value of books. That's at least what I predict. But the point is, a lot of booksellers are getting out of business, so the ones in business should should
take more market share,
more prosperous than otherwise. But he's also like, this is a great. I feel like this is a great business principle. Like, protect yourself in any marketplace that you decide to go into. Protect yourself by covering all corners of the market. And think of, like, it might be like an octagon. It might not even be like a square. Like, there might be so many different elements to it, but at least, like, if this happens, then you're protected here.
Well, I will say with a caveat, do that once you're mature and settled into a market. So break into the market.
Gary Keller.
Right. But if you're coming into a market, say, I'm going to do something everywhere. I'm going to sell data. I'm going to have software. I'm going to do, I'm going to be on the buy side, the sell side. If you're going to try and do all of that, that's fine, but you can't do that in year one. So you have to figure out a plan to set that up and figure out if it works first. Take action.
I love that principle, though, because, like, you're so protected.
The other way to kind of protect against it is just to make hay while the sun shines. Yeah. So we talk about this. You're just like, hey, I'm trying to stock cash. So save your cash, put it elsewhere. For me, I'm trying to put it into real estate. I'm doing Airbnb. I'm also doing some bourbon. Dad, be careful over there. Dad's watering the plants here for us. We've completely outsourced. We've completely outsourced the maintenance of the home that we don't even own, and so I guess the real owners are actually watering the plants right now. We're leveraging things.
Delegation.
Yeah, delegation. All right, what other questions do we have? TJ says I've scanned 175,000 books. Is that dollars worth of books? Or you sold, or you scanned 175,000 bucks? Where's my free Scout IQ shirt?
He scanned.
If you have scanned,
he's very good with his numbers.
If you've scanned
never re-downloaded the app, and he knows he's scanned 100.
All right, if you've scanned over 100,000 books, TJ, reach out.
He has.
Caleb at TheBookFlipper.com. Give me your T-shirt size. I'll hook you up. I don't know if you want to take that one on. Talton says,
I'll answer this real quick. I do have a YouTube video. If you guys type in Roamer the Roamer, multiple Amazon accounts, this will break it down more. But nobody else should really do this. But I sell on other people's Amazon accounts, and I pay them 3% of gross sales. The reason why I do this is not everybody can sell popular textbooks. Some people can, and I pay them a percentage of gross sales in order to sell on their accounts. But when you purchase somebody else's account, essentially what you should do is have them set up a business, have them have a business bank account associated with that business, have them connect that to Amazon in the proper way. Again, I have a YouTube video that breaks this down. Just type in Roamer the Roamer, multiple Amazon accounts, and you want to make sure you do everything right to not freak Amazon's algorithms out. And then you can purchase their account, and you can get another 1,000 units of storage, 3,000 units of storage. So that is a method. I think that's really only for people who are really dealing with restock limit issues. So if restock limit issues are a true issue for you, maybe you should reach out to friends and family and have them set up an account and have them have a business associated with the account and then purchase a business from them. Again, I have a whole video. Holy shit, Reed just,
there we go.
Just gave $25 for
Long
a super
Island
chat.
Iced Teas. There we go.
Much.
Thanks, Reed.
Have you? That just made me think of I'm an island boy. Have you seen that?
I'm not.
And I'm just trying to make it.
Jasmine says, how the hell did I get here? We don't know, but we're glad you're here. John says, is it profitable to sell books on other sites like places like AbeBooks, only if books aren't doing as well on Amazon? Yeah, eBay is a really, really good market for selling books. I would have said half.com, but that's out of business. RIP. Alibris, Abe, very good for collectibles. eBay is very, very good for a lot of books as well. There's tons of traffic there. So as Amazon's fees go up, other platforms with cheaper fees, tend to become more palatable, more profitable. So you end up going into those directions. Maybe not as easy to run reports, to do things in bulk, but certainly there's tools out there that you can use as well to help continue to ramp that up.
Greg Cincher says, is now a good time for textbooks. Now is a good time to buy textbooks. We're actually getting to a bad time to buy textbooks. So if you're going to buy textbooks, like the next week is probably like the limit. Like actually like last week was the best time. Now I already feel like my textbook account is selling way more textbooks. But it's going to be great. Like towards the second half of December and really the whole month of January is a great time to sell textbooks. So if you have textbooks, send them in now. Even to vendors, it's better. Caleb was getting on to me because I was saying that restrictedinventory.com pays more than Ziffit, Valor Books, any basically third-party vendor. He was like, "That's not fair."
They're also quoting books in the off season.
He was like, "You did this assessment in mid-November," which is fair enough. But the point is, if you want to make the most money possible off textbooks, whether you're selling them on Amazon or to third-party vendors on bookscatter.com or to restricted inventory, the best month is January. That is when the demand is the highest. And just by the way, guys,
I'm going to say August. I'm going to disagree.
You think August? I'm just saying, like in terms of the first half of the year. But yeah. August and January
are definitely the periods you want to sell them.
Yeah.
If you're trying to sell them on Amazon yourself, if you're not restricted, you're able to sell them. I always send them in. Price them a little higher than you think where they're at. Again, use Keepa, learn how to read that, interpret the data. So know what it could sell for. If it's $40 today, but probably is going to go to 80, then you might want to list it for 80 or 75 or 70 and kind of position yourself to get that sale later.
Right.
But there's also a chance that somebody needs that book early. The market moves earlier than you thought, and you might get that sale. So Q4 storage fees are more expensive, and Amazon I think brought back 6-month storage fees now because they don't want you to treat their storage, their warehouses like storage facilities.
Yeah, if you're trying to sell fast,
So send them in, price them reasonably well.
Yeah.
If you only want to profit in January or August, sorry to keep cutting you off.
Yeah, you're good. I'm just saying, like, some people look at recycling as an issue. So like February, you probably don't want to send in a book that's not going to sell till August. So like, if you're being like if you're super detail oriented, which TJ and Lisa are, like, set your textbooks aside maybe, and then send them in July, like right before textbook season hits. Because now we live in a different market, or not different market, but different environment where recycle limits really are an issue. Like I sell textbooks year round, and it hurts me.
I sold a $100 textbook today that was published.
It hurts me this time of year to sell textbooks because we're repricing like semi-aggressively, and I'm selling books that I know I could sell for way more next month. But restock limits are an issue, so we're always trying to sell what we have, And by the way, that study I did, I compared buyback vendors like Ziffit, Valor Books. I compared even the highest bidder on bookscatter.com and restrictedinventory.com did more, meaning you would get paid more by sending the books to restrictedinventory.com than any of those vendors. Of course, we did do it in the off season, so we'll do it again in January and see what the results are. But I mean, like we blew textbooks.com out of the water. They offered $2,500 for the books. Our consigners actually made $10,000 off the books, so 4 times as much. Valor Books did offer $6,000, pretty good in the off season. We'll see how competitive they are during textbook season. But we offered $9,000, so we paid about, was it 30% more? 6,000, 9,000, about 30%.
50% more.
50%.
3K over 6K.
50%. Boom.
Yep.
See, that's why I keep this guy around. 50% more. Restrictedinventory.com. But yeah, so my point is, yes, it takes longer to get paid with restrictedinventory.com because we sell on consignment, but you will get paid more in the long run. So if you guys want to check that out, it's my website, restrictedinventory.com. Accounts are free, shipping. You guys cover shipping, we cover prep, and we cover all inventory management. So go check that out. See who else is in here.
What other questions do you have? We can talk books, but we have a lot of book questions. What do you guys want to talk about outside of this? Food.
You're like, I'm tired of books.
Bourbon, investments, crypto. Please don't talk crypto. Avery thinks he knows everything about crypto.
Yeah, I can answer some crypto questions, guys. Put them in the chat. We got a lot of questions in here. We can choose. Talton is saying, Romer, I've been thinking about doing that as I can't sell nearly as much as I source. That's a great problem to have. I'm not sure what you're talking about doing, but if you can source more than you can't sell nearly as much as you can source. If you're sourcing a lot,
ask it again.
He's basically saying I can't sell as much as I can source. I think he's talking about holding on to the textbooks before textbook season. So maybe don't send them in early. I know that I used to take that advice, but I'm thinking now, like if you're really being anal about your restock limits, don't send in textbooks until like right before textbook season. If you want to sell them at a high price, if you don't care, then send them in earlier. But I think that advice kind of changes with if you are really caring about your restock limits. Most people, I don't think it's an issue for most people. I think most people are like, you can't even max out 1,000 units yet. If you can't max out 1,000 units,
and you can go from
1,000
to 3,000 pretty quick.
Yeah,
I would say, like in terms of restock limits and everything else, is like my hot take is I think the restock limits are going to go significantly. They're going to be relaxed come January. We've got issues with warehouse space right now, and Amazon is saying we don't want stuff in here because guys like Amazon Lit are shoving hundreds of thousands of units into the warehouse, and poor guys like me just trying to get a couple more thousand in, they're going, we don't have room for you. Books are long tail. They have high beta, as Reezy says, and they just don't move quickly. You didn't even flinch. I just like trying to throw names at you just to see if I get a reaction. I didn't. So well done, Romer.
Reezy's a good guy. Cheers to Reezy.
Yes, cheers, Reezy. He's not even. He's like working on flipping skateboards and whatever else.
Hey, Reezy.biz didn't work out, but our 6 inventory did. Hey, we're 40 minutes in this, so if you guys saw that, then you know what's
kudos. Up. That's it. All right, what else? What else we chatting?
Reezy kind of got me in the game. These two got me. Reezy and Caleb got me in the game. So I always have respect for those two. He's talking about leveraging multiple Amazon accounts. So we completely answered his question the wrong way. We just inferred that he was talking about.
He was saying he can source as much as he wants, but he can't sell them yet.
And so that our answer did that was actually relevant. Our answer, like, you do have to be careful. If you send in something at a higher price that is going to take longer to sell, it's going to affect your restock limits. Your restock limits are based on the last 13 weeks of sales history. It's according to Amazon Lit, and your IPI score factors. There's a lot of things that factor in, but basically they want you to sell shit fast for a lot of money. And so how can you do that? You sell what you send in as quickly as possible. And so if you're sending stuff in with the intention of sitting on it, it's going to affect your restock limits.
Totally.
Is Christmas a good season for selling books on Amazon? Did we answer this yet?
No, but it's a good time for selling anything because everybody's looking for gifts.
I will say this: during Q4, people are experiencing restock limit issues because they're sending in large shipments, and it takes a long time for those shipments to get checked in. So they're sending in like 1,000 units. They have a 3,000 limit. They already have 2,000 in stock. So now the restock limits are maxed out because their inbound shipments are at 1,000, but it takes Amazon a month or two to check them in. And so inbound shipments do affect your restock limits, and that is something to consider, But what was the question? Is now a good season to sell books? I mean, I'd say better than
a rising tide lifts all ships. So if people are online, same thing with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all of these like sales that are going on, they're not necessarily geared toward booksellers. But if people are, looking for other things, they're also going to, hey, while I'm here, I need to grab that book as a gift, or I need to read it myself. So it's kind of funny. I was sitting around Wednesday night. I went up to see my parents in Michigan, and was sitting around. We were all just kind of hanging out, playing board games, and eat popcorn, cheese and crackers, whatever kind of family traditions. But I'm sitting there, and I just pulled up, checked the Amazon sales like you're prone to do, getting that dopamine hit. And I had a really good evening there. And I'm like, everybody's home with family that doesn't want to be home with family, and they're just buying stuff online to soothe the pain of being home with family, unfortunately. So I think, holidays typically are slower. But I found the last couple holidays, as e-commerce has continued to grow, people are buying that much more. So all of that to say, yes, Christmas is a good time to, to be selling books because people are looking for.
Yeah, and December's a good month too. If you're in textbooks, December is basically like pre-textbook season. Like even like next week's gonna be pretty good. Like I'm excited.
Well, I think every school is going to be buying textbooks. Diane, hello. She's saying she might come to Miami. Me.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. She texted you.
You guys can text me too if you have my number.
All right. What's your number? Can you?
Nope. I'm number 1. The area code is 1. We'll leave it at that. That's all I got.
I think this is the second time he asked this question, so we should probably answer it. Or somebody asked a question similar to this earlier. We got Joseph asking, are my FBA books automatically sold internationally, or is there something I should do to open them up to international buyers? I signed up for a program. It was like a click of a button. It's like, do you want to sell in Japan? And
it's called the Global Export Program,
something like that.
And I have a blog. I haven't touched a blog in a couple of years. There's a blog post. I don't know if you're auto signed into it anymore, I suspect you are because Amazon wants them to get sold, but you may have.
I don't think you are.
You may have to opt
I'm
in.
managing so many different accounts, and I don't think they're like some accounts. Like one of my friend's accounts,
I think it's
I log into his account, and he's got like 20 flags on his account. So I can go see his Uganda account. I can go see his like Brazil account. Whereas like the other accounts that I manage are just America. So I think you do have to take some action, or maybe it's a little bit of luck to get invited into a international program. But I think like
I think you can just sign up.
the surface level international. Oh shit!
Can't take them anywhere.
I need some. Yeah,
Mom.
I got napkins, Mom. It's okay. The surface level international program is pretty easy. Thank you to sign up for. But like my friend got enrolled in a program where he's got more accounts than I do. Like he's got more flags than I do on my Amazon account. So Amazon does weird stuff. They beta test stuff with different people.
Let me see what it's called. I think it's called the global.
It's called global something. John says
it's free to sign up for.
John says we're the best in the book game.
Is this Muscarella?
No, this is another John. John,
thank
Jessen.
you.
He's building our egos up.
I got it. He is. What does he want?
We got Lorenzo in the house. What do you have to say to Lorenzo?
What do I have to say to Lorenzo?
Yeah, you think you
I want to hear about.
I bet Caleb could tap you out, bro. I could definitely tap you by now, bro. Come to Miami and we'll tap your ass out.
I want to hear how your sauna blew up.
Yeah.
I want to hear that story.
Let's tell him about that. Your sauna just exploded randomly. I heard that's what happens when you're a bitch. Your sauna just randomly implodes on you.
Tim says, how many SKUs before you need a repricer? 3, maybe 1,000. Again, everything in this game, you have to figure out where you're at in the stage of the game. Do you have more time than money, or do you have more money than time?
Yeah.
And though that understanding, and then also where do you want to be, will kind of dictate how you make decisions. Because a repricer is not going to make as good of a decision as you would on an individual book, looking at Keepa data, understanding historical sales. But what's your time worth? Are you able to go in there and actually reprice multiple times a day, et cetera? Or can you just outsource that to a robot that will make mistakes, but at least it's going to be better than you sitting there and not getting stuff sold?
Right. Yeah, that's always that's the benefit of being small, is you can be way smarter with your inventory. Okay, let's see. We've been neglecting Instagram a little bit, so let's answer some more questions. YouTube, Facebook, you guys got questions, go ahead and drop them. Let's see what IG has. Let's scroll up. Answer some old questions now. So you guys that I'm about to answer probably aren't even in the chat. So if you guys have questions I haven't answered yet, go ahead and copy those questions and paste them below. Same to you, YouTube and Facebook. Somebody said Amazon Lit is doing 4 million per month.
So you're right on that. Is anybody going to take us up on our offer? If you're new, if you missed it earlier, Avery's discounting his time. He's normally $1,000 an hour. $1,500 an hour. Sorry, I didn't mean to short circuit you. I think I just rolled my eyes on.
Taylor Jones, real quick. Taylor Jones said you coming back in 2022 for Miami 2022.
I'm in.
Boom, he's
if in. Eric's in, I'm in.
If Eric's in, we got to sell Amazon Lit first.
Guys, package deal. Pay for flights for Avery and myself. Pay for food. Pay for alcohol. Pay for lodging. $1,000 a head. We'll come to you. 2 days, 1 night. We will teach you everything we know about books, about bourbon, and first person to take us up. The offer is only good for 24 hours, so it expires at midnight Eastern tomorrow, November 30th. Yep. So you got to take us up on it within that time frame. Fly us wherever. Hopefully it's somewhere fun. If it's Fargo, North Dakota, I'm probably going to say no. I had to say yes because we said we would. But $2,000 plus travel, probably for $3,000 all in. You can have both of us there. You can shoot videos with us. You can put us to work scanning books for all that time. I don't care.
Whatever you want, guys.
We do need to sleep. I'm not going to work for like 30 hours at that rate. We're going to get gypped.
I'm interested to see how they respond to this.
So we'll see. Someone take us up on it. The next time we offer it, it'll be $5,000 a pop.
Yeah, for sure.
That sounds so shady.
I mean, like,
it sounds slimy.
I look like I said this on my IG recently. I said like, one day I will be charging like $25K. I don't know if it was like for a phone call or a consultation or whatever, but I feel like inevitably like that point's going to come. You know, like if I keep posting on social media, eventually one day somebody's going to want consulting. I'm just not going to want to do it. And like the rate's probably going to be like
Well, again,
25K plus.
2 years ago when you didn't have money, if someone said, hey, I'll give you $1,000 for a day of your, like literally 8 hours of your time, you probably would have jumped on that and said absolutely.
Exactly.
Because that's pure profit.
Yeah.
Now you have the luxury to say, hey, I have, not saying you're loaded and have all kinds of money, but you have more money than time.
Right.
To the point where you're going, no, I'm going to pick and choose what I want to do.
Yeah, because there's so much opportunity.
And
like,
that's a difference.
There's always opportunity cost. Everything you do, there's always something you're not doing. So it's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to accomplish?
Agreed.
You know, what business are you going to focus on? What friendships, what relationships are you going to
Do you
build?
need water?
Probably.
Need some water.
Latin pickers in the house again. Who else we got in here? We do got a question on. John is saying, does advertising or using coupons benefit your book sales? Have you ever messed with that? You ever messed with?
I haven't done any SEO or any advertising.
I've heard a lot of people saying that advertising work, or not advertising, discount codes work. I've never experimented with that before. I've never.
Can you do it on books? I think I've seen some people do it.
The guy in New York that I told you about, he does it. He like discounts all of his books like 5% or some shit.
The reason I think that would work is, I'll come back over there.
We got the book flipper answering this question right now, guys.
Remotely. Agua.
I like how YouTube grows at night and then
Instagram's
dying off. We got 20 people on YouTube. We got 12.
The reason I think that would work is it might hide against repricers. So if you have a book, I think Reezy told me this. If you have a book for $25 and you have a 5% coupon code attached, I think the repricer is going to see the $25 price, whereas the consumer is going to see 25 minus 5% or whatever you have on the discount. So I think it's a way to actually slide under the radar with repricers. Don't quote me on that, but
yeah, you wouldn't get the buy box advantage, but you would get the advantage of just being a cheaper price.
Right. If that's the case, then that could totally work.
I've heard Reezy say that before too.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
We got Ivana in the house. IG, you got questions. Instagram, you got questions. All right, IG is Instagram. That's how you know I've had too much bourbon. YouTube, Facebook. I'm gonna scroll back up. Let's see. MD Empire, much love. I know you're probably tuned out by now. Who's in the phone that was Amazon lit? Yeah, there's a Meow Wolf in Denver as well. They're all over the place. Okay, we got a question from Georgie saying, Avery, is it possible to get unrestricted in textbooks with a new account? We're grandfathered in. You can get unrestricted in McGraw-Hill by purchasing about $1,000 worth of their books, 10 of their books. You buy 10 of their books and you show it to Amazon, you get ungated in that. With Pearson, there's no luck. I don't think with Cengage, any of these other big publishers, Cengage, Pearson, who else am I missing?
McGraw-Hill.
McGraw-Hill, you can get ungated, I've heard.
Okay.
If you get an invoice.
I think just for new though. I don't know
It might just be that, but you guys should just send them to restrictedinventory.com anyway. We'll sell them for you and we'll assume all the risk. So that's my pitch there. Let's see what else. What other questions we got here? Let's check IG.
And we're not going to stay up ridiculously late. We do have early morning shenanigans to get into.
Somebody said muffled. You guys hear me good on IG? Do I sound good? Unplug it just in case. Do I sound good, guys? And let me know if you can hear me. Jerry says, have you looked into a buyback program? I know what you're talking about because he actually knows a guy who does a toy buyback program. So like they scan the UPC of a toy and it gives a buyback price. I told Jerry that I'm probably eventually restrictedinventory.com probably will just pay cash for your textbooks and be done with it. And we'll just, if you guys have textbooks, we'll just buy them from you at a higher price than any other vendor would. And we'll just pay you cash when we receive it. That's probably going to be the future. But Jerry does have a friend who does that with toys. And I think that's a good way to provide value to the market. I heard if you're going to make a good offer, what you have to do is you have to have the goal of, you have to have, like, what does the customer want? Like, what is the outcome the customer wants? And so, like, let's say with restrictedinventory.com, the outcome the customer wants is they want to make money from their books. Okay. The next problem is how much time is going to elapse before they get what they want, which is the money for their books. And so like anytime you can reduce the amount of time before the desired, like until they get the desired outcome, that is going to make them, and if you make that a perceived reality for them, so if you can accurately put that in your marketing to where they're like, oh, I know that if I send books to restrictedinventory.com, I'm going to get paid within 2 weeks. Then if they perceive it that way, regardless of if I fulfill on it or not, then they're going to use my service. Now, if they come back to me, that depends on
but if you don't deliver on it,
exactly. But like
that backfires.
The perceived value, which word of mouth has to do with that, which is
right.
do you deliver or not? But being able to condense the amount of time, and this is for everything, guys. Like I don't care if you're in an online arbitrage business, if you're in any type of business where you're selling anything, if you can condense the amount of time between you and the customer, like their desired outcome and what you're promising to deliver them, and you make it a reality in their brain in terms of your marketing. Like they see it, oh, I'm going to get paid in X amount of time, or oh, I'm going to get the result in X amount of time. Maybe you run a fitness business and you say that, people are going to lose weight within 2 months. If you promise that they'll lose 20 pounds in 2 months and you make them believe you, then they're going to use your service over somebody else's. So that was big for me reading that recently, because there's only so many things you can do to optimize your product. You can innovate and you can market better. Those are really the two things you can do. You can either innovate or market better. And when it comes to innovation, usually it comes down to saving people time where they don't have to spend time somewhere else or just not making money. So that's what I got there.
We did that one already.
Cool. I think you guys are kind of tapped out. We got one question here. Clint says, we'll take like one or two more questions. So if YouTube, Facebook, if you guys got more questions, go ahead and drop one. IG, if you guys got more questions, obviously drop them below. We got Clint saying, are there a lot of counterfeits in the market? How viable is online arbitrage for textbooks still?
Well, textbooks fluctuate significantly. So yes, there are restrictions. And if you are not ungated, then that's going to be tough. If you're going to be giving up 50% of your potential profits to this guy, that's not a problem if you're paying $1 or $2 at a thrift store,
right?
Or 5 or 6 or whatever. But if you're doing online arbitrage, that becomes pretty difficult. So that's going to be a challenge. Textbooks still fluctuate crazy amount. Again, learn to read cHow, learn how to interpret the data, and look for the seasonality. If you can buy low and sell high, you're going to do great. I still haven't figured out how to short sell textbooks where you sell high, then rebuy low. If anybody figures that out, Michael Kreider, if you're watching, let's talk. That'd be really fascinating. We could commoditize the market even further, but I digress. So the other way you can make money is repricers run amok a lot. So two people will just keep chasing a lower sale, and you'll take a book that's normally $50, and two people keep chasing on a long tail book that doesn't sell that much. You can all of a sudden pick off both offers for $12 pop, and then relist those at $49, put the market back to where it should have been. So there's always opportunities for mispriced books. Shameless plug, eFlip does that. It's called Outliers. It helps you find books where price 1 and 2 is under $20 and price 3 is over $50. And then you have to, again, get used to reading cHow and understanding how that works. The challenge with textbooks is you can be kicked off the listing. A lot of them are gated, and so it's a challenge. If you are gated already, it's actually kind of a blessing in disguise because that'll let you know which books you're likely to be safe to list on. The challenge if you're not gated, one of the things that I feel for Avery is at any point in time, his accounts can get shut down or suspended, or his popular textbooks can get pulled. That's always the risk that he runs because that's just the nature of this game. Now, it's worked so far, knock on wood, cross your fingers, all those things, but there's always that risk. So if you're going to be doing online arbitrage and going heavy and making huge investments and you are ungated, just understand that plug can get pulled at any time. If you are gated, you're most likely fairly safe on the other books. Again, no guarantees. There's no guarantees on any of this, but that's a pretty safe bet. So yes, all that to say, e-flipping or doing online arbitrage still does work. TJ says, I just hit 1 year. I'm at 128,000 on Amazon books. Could not have done it without Scout IQ. Avery and Steve, I've scanned 175,000 books. Send me a screenshot, TJ. I'm not going to give you my cell phone number. I know Avery still wants it. I still haven't.
I'll give you a cell phone number.
I still haven't given
Reach
him
out
my
to me.
number.
I'll give you a cell phone number. He's got my number. He texts me all the time.
Perfect.
I'll connect you.
Caleb at TheBookFlipper.com. Send me a screenshot. We will get you a T-shirt and for your wife as well. So send me those. I would love to see those screenshots. That's awesome. So kudos to you, putting in the work and getting the reward.
Latin Picker says, do you know any requirements about putting donation bins around the city? You want to tell a story about? We'll call him.
Can
Pat.
we change his name?
We'll call him Pat.
Yeah, it could be a girl. It's just Pat.
I actually told him that. I told him I'm going to use Pat as his name.
Oh my goodness. So Pat is a good friend of ours, and we've hung out a couple different times now. He's a good. It's a he. He's a good guy. So he's got a bunch of donation bins, more than one, less than $1 million, somewhere in there, and he just puts the bins out. Sometimes he gets permission, sometimes he doesn't. I don't necessarily love that as a business model, but basically, and I've heard other people do this as well, you just dump it in a parking lot and you wait. And probably half the time, nobody ever says anything and you're good. The other half, somebody calls and says, hey, what's this doing here? And you go, well, that business over there said I could. Again, I don't condone this. That's not how I would run the business. But I know people that are just dropping bins, waiting for someone to yell at them, make sure they have contact info on it, and then see what happens and move it if you have to, or just let it run. I prefer to ask, pay a little bit a month, just be nice to the guy, say, hey, we're trying to, help keep books out of landfills or whatnot. All of that's great. So you can get away with it. Pat is a smart fella, maybe a little cavalier in some ways, but it's working for most of the time. So again, business is risk. He's kind of weighed the pros and cons and the risk there.
Yeah, he says, I mean, about city requirements, not personal property.
Every city's gonna differ.
Yeah,
there'll probably some HOAs that allow it or don't allow
California
it, or cities that don't. Well, Latin Pickers is in California.
What do you think about somebody like Latin Pickers who's doing bulk? Do you think every bulk player who's serious should have donation bins as part of their business model? Or
I don't know. Look at your cost. Look at your effort to go around and pick them up. It's variable. You know what you're paying today for a truckload of books, so you can figure out break that down to a Gaylord. If you are doing donation bins, your cost is free, but your labor cost is not. You got $500 to $700 in a donation bin, right? You also have to pay for labor. You have to get a truck or rent a truck. You've got to deal with, sometimes the bin is a third full, sometimes it's full, sometimes there's 2 books in it.
Yeah.
So you have variability. And so you have to factor out, we ran this analysis with Riley Brown, Seattle Bookman, which he's actually flipping NFTs now. So he's out of the book game. Kudos to you, buddy. We actually looked at, I forget, we did an interview and we said, all right, well, you're getting books for free. You're doing, but you're paying for ads, you're paying for labor, you're, whatever. So we kind of broke it down and said, what is your cost to acquire 1,000 books? Roughly what'll fit in a Gaylord, 800 to 1,000 bucks. And we looked at that and it was actually a little bit higher than if you just went and bought, raw Gaylords. Now, raw Gaylords, the quality there, your hit rate, your dollars, your potential profit is going to be lower than if you get, typically true donations, right? So it'd be credentialed material out of a donation bin, except for the Amazon sellers in your area that are dumping books into your bins. So you got to just understand what I'd probably try and break it down to is what's your cost to acquire 1,000 books. Break it down to roughly a Gaylord and see what that is and see if your quality is better. Again, measure your sources and then make informed decisions. Is it historically significantly better to have a donation bin in terms of dollars per 1,000 books? And if it is, then ramp that up. If it's not, then go back to your core competency, which is building systems, figuring out how to list, figuring out how to list on multiple platforms, figuring out how to reprice, and just pay a thrift store to buy a truckload at a time.
He's also asking, he says he acquired 12 bins for $600.
Sweet
and
price.
He wants to get them functioning soon. Do you know enough? I mean, I feel like we both have talked
That's
to
a good
donation bins guys.
It's a good deal if you got them for $50 a pop. Honestly, sell them for $250 a pop and just walk away. Seriously, take a 500% bump and just be done. That's what I would do.
You don't think you should set them up? 12 bins?
I think you should try it. Again, I don't know what's in your market. If Better World is there, if Discover, if there's other people with donation.
You told me
bins,
this. You said
try it.
You said set up the donation bins near wherever they set up.
You can, because then people see it, and then it's
because like they have arrows in their back. Better World Books knows where to set them up, and so
maybe if they've done their research, sure. It's Christian, so Christian, try it for sure. Give it a run. I
100% say
if you have them,
like, dude,
right?
you're in this business. Like, how many different directions can you go? There's not too many different directions you can go as a bulk bookseller. So why not try this?
You're in it for $600. drop, get permission, drop them somewhere, see if the city allows it. Worst case, you get fined to make sure you do your homework, but give that a shot. And if you're nervous, I know you're doing fine. $600 isn't going to set you back. If that was a big chunk of money, sell half of them and make some money.
Oh, look who we got. We got
and then have them. But
we got who you're visiting next week.
Who's that?
Puerto Vallarta, man.
Puerto Vallarta. What's up, Taylor? It's late, East Coast. All right, Michael, a couple more questions.
You can't sleep.
Michael says, Run with the Rumor, what's a good place to buy books in bulk?
Easy. You just call every thrift store. And if you're in a big city, you can call libraries as well. And
Yes, Mom.
And what you do is you basically just talk to them and you say, hey, are you guys able to, sell books in bulk? You literally just say that. Say, can you sell books in bulk? And what they'll do is they'll say yes, they'll say no. And if they say no, here's a pro tip. What you can do is you can set up a pallet within the thrift store and just put an empty Gaylord there. And if they don't accept books as donations, you can say, hey, start accepting books as donations, and I will pick them up once every 2 weeks, or whatever the goal is. You can say, hey, I'll pick them up once every week, once every month, whatever it is. That's a good way to start a relationship. Think of how can you provide value to the thrift store, the library. And a lot of times, like I think in this market right now, it's probably not going to be too hard to get a source to work with you, because a lot of people are going out of business. A lot of people are saying, no, we don't want the books anymore. Like the recycling market's going
solve
up.
their problem.
Yep.
And go from there.
Exactly.
All right, we're getting told we have to wrap this up. So we're out tomorrow morning, Tuesday, November 30. Check our Instagrams. We're going to be doing something cool. It's potential that neither of us will be alive after tomorrow morning. So check out what we're doing. It's very high risk. Don't tell our life insurance companies. And we'll catch you from a cool location tomorrow.
Awesome. Appreciate you, YouTube, Facebook, private community. See you guys. And Instagram, much love. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll talk soon.
Bye, guys.
Boom.